1, 2, 3, ikimashou everyone!
How's it going, Musa Squad? We have a brand new video for you guys. This team was absolutely insane. I was not expecting it to do as good as it did. I have gone 4-1, 4-1, 3-2, 4-1, 5-0 with this team. I have not gone on a single negative set, and I have been playing over 25 matches with this team, so it has been very solid. As the lead, we do have Tropius with Air Slash, Aerial Ace, and Leaf Blade as its moves. Then we have a Primeape with Counter, Ice Punch, Night Slash, and to finish it all off, we have a Raining Form, Castform with Water Gun, Weather Ball, and Thunder to go ahead and close off this team. Guys, this team is very good. It doesn't necessarily have a safe switch. You have to be very cognizant of what the team is bringing in. Now, before we start these battles, guys, don't forget to join the Musa Squad by leaving a like, commenting, subscribing, and turning on that notification bell. All right, let's get into it now. Let's go. So our first opponent is Revolucion 38. Got some Spanish going on there. And we do start off versus a Gardevoir, Shadow Gardevoir, so very scary here, but I think we'll be okay here. We're going to go ahead and stay in this matchup for as long as possible. We do overfarm a bit and then go for that Leaf Blade here. Now this should force out a shield for my opponent, which is very nice, especially because the Gardevoir takes a while to farm up. Now we do make the switch into Castform. Kind of misclicked there. I wanted to switch much faster than that, but it's okay. Now we do have to shield here because a Shadow Ball could take us out. Yeah, so that is a Shadow Ball. And they make the switch here, so things are looking good, especially because they brought in the Umbreon. The Umbreon will be very weak to the Primeape, so I don't have to protect my Castform that much. Now I do get one Weather Ball off and one more, right? This water gun damage is quite a lot. It's actually very interesting. I almost never use this Castform, so I was a little unsure of how to use it when I first made this team. But it's pretty solid. I kind of made it because of Talonflame, right? There's been so many Talonflames. I was like, man, I gotta do something about all these Talonflames and all these double steel backups. So luckily this Weather Ball does force a shield out of them, so now we are up in shields, and they even use their energy. This makes me very excited here because that means that I have shield advantage, right? So that's very good. Now let's see what I go ahead and decide to do here. I do bring in the Tropius and then make an immediate switch into Primeape because I wanted to kind of conserve that last shield because I don't know what the last Pokemon is. Now they bring in the Gardevoir and it does very hard damage there, but we still managed to take them out. And this is looking pretty decent here because the Night Slashes will do a lot of damage, and we can probably get to a second Night Slash, especially because we have shields. And yeah, we just barely managed to get to it, so this is huge because this should almost take them down. And it actually does take them down. I guess I miscalculated there. And the Primeape goes ahead and finishes off and clears out the whole set for me. Very good, Primeape. Alright, our next opponent is Ahiguhato. I don't know if I said that correctly. I hope I did. And we get a nice lead here versus the Azumarill. This is a little bit tricky, right? Because if an Ice Beam hits the Tropius, it's going to do devastating damage because it will be ×4 effective. But we also do quite a lot of damage here with our own Leaf Blades. So we're going to go ahead and trade shields here for the most part. And I'm going to see if I can try to catch a move, hopefully. But they actually make a switch into the Umbreon, so this is nice. 2 Umbreons in a row, so that's very good. Now, the only reason we go for this Night Flash right away instead of trying to bait out a close combat potential is because I was really hoping for that attack buff. Now here we have to be careful. I've decided not to shield no matter what, but Last Resort will hit very hard. Luckily it is just a foul play, but they actually managed to get to a second foul play here, or it could be a Last Resort. They farmed up quite a bit. It is a Last Resort. Okay, now at this point we are going to go for the Ice Punch because Ice Punch will at least do some neutral damage and hopefully get them very low. And yeah, at least it does a little bit more than that Night Slash did. We do manage to take them down surprisingly, and they go ahead and bring in the Azumarill, you know, one bubble unfortunately, but they make their switch into the Galvantula, and then I make a crazy switch here, guys. It was a pure reaction switch into their Galvantula here, so this is looking pretty bad. I go ahead and let him go down, and we're kind of stuck in shield, so I'm pretty sure this is a GG here, but let's go ahead and see what I end up doing. This battle happened about 4 or 5 days ago, so I can't really remember what I do next. Now I do take a lunge here, so I did a lot of damage, and I'm going for an Aerial Ace here. They do shield, and now we're gonna have to basically shield this because it would take us out, and we have to hope that even though they're going to drop our attack again, that we can somehow manage to find a way to beat them. I get a little bit nervous and throw out that Leaf Blade immediately. And let's see how this goes here. We do take them down and we go for another Leaf Blade, but I do not believe this is enough to take out a full health Azumarill, especially after getting my attack lowered twice. Yeah, and that is a GG right there. So this is the one loss in this set, unfortunately. We do manage to get to a second Leaf Blade, you know, so maybe if I hadn't gotten my attack dropped, I could have potentially beaten them. But, you know, my opponent played it very well. So, good game to them. And let's go ahead and see what the next opponent is. I'm kind of ready for this battle to be over. I remember it now. It was very painful to see the mistakes come back and haunt me. Now, unfortunately, my recording started a little bit late, so I couldn't see this trainer's name, so sorry about that. But we do get another positive lead here, and they go ahead and bring in the Sableye. Now, I do make the switch into the Primeape because here I'll probably be taking reduced damage from Pow Flays. Yes, exactly. And Night Slash should be doing some pretty decent neutral damage. Of course, they do a lot of damage with their own Shadow Claws, but this Night Slash should do a lot. And we should manage to actually get to a second one. Yeah, Primeape is pretty awesome. He gets to those Night Slashes very fast, so that's very nice. And I do get to the second one, and it forces a shield, so things are looking very, very good for me here. I'm going to go ahead and probably bring back the Tropius again, because it's honestly the best choice in this situation. And I'm not going to shield, considering that Foul Play shouldn't be doing that much damage here. And I should be able to farm them down and get a little bit of extra energy in, so that's nice. I do have enough for an Aerial Ace, so that's looking good in case they bring in something else other than the Azumarill. And they do, they bring in the Marowak, but we go ahead and make the switch here. And they respond immediately with an Azumarill of their own. And I'm hoping here that they won't expect the Thunder. A lot of people haven't been playing Castform in quite a while, right? It's kind of fallen out of the meta. So yeah, they don't block the first one, so that's looking nice for us. And there's no reason for us to block here. It did make me very nervous that I didn't block there, because I do need this Castform to do some damage to the Marowak. But, you know, you gotta play risky sometimes, guys. Now I go for another Weather Ball. They don't shield here, and unfortunately they do manage to get to an Ice Beam, so I'm gonna have to shield this thing here. And a little bit of lag, but it's all good, and they go ahead and bring in their Marowak. Now in this situation, I do have to be careful with the Shadow Bones, and I don't think I can get to a second Weather Ball in time, but they actually go for the Bone Club there, so that's a bit unfortunate for me. I probably should not have shielded that. It would have done neutral damage, but not enough to take me out. And now it's a race to get to that last Weather Ball, but unfortunately I don't manage to get to it, and this should be taking me out. So now it's up to the Tropius, but it does have loaded energy, so I'm hoping this Aerial Ace will almost get them down. It's very close, yeah, and now I need to really rush to get to that Leaf Blade, hopefully. And I just barely managed to get to it, guys. It was a very close match, but we do end up winning it. This team usually wins at this. I usually win with just a couple of HP. Alright, so let's go to the next opponent. It's versus Icelis. I believe that's what it said there. I'm not 100% sure. And this is a pretty bad lead for us here. So we do make an immediate switch into the Primeape. And we feel pretty good about this because they don't shield. We're going to do a lot of damage. And if they do shield, it just opens up Castform to just really wail on their Stunfisk eventually. And we managed to get to another Night Slash, guys. I mean, Primeape is so clutch with getting to always 2 Night Slashes in all these battles, so it's awesome. We do get that first shield down by them. And we're going to go ahead and wait out this timer just to play it safe. And we're going to bring that Tropius back in. Now, I do not shield this one, which is pretty risky because if it's an Ice Punch, it would be devastating. But it is a Shadow Ball. It does a lot of damage, but Tropius is a tanky boy when it is not a super effective move. So this Leaf Blade should KO. Yep. And they're going to go ahead and bring in their Stunfisk, but they make an immediate switch when they see my switch. So that was pretty awkward there in the animation. And also we end up getting a CMP tie here, which is very frustrating because I was hoping to get to that Thunder first, but luckily it didn't register. So sometimes you get lucky when you go for those really dumb CMP tie, guys. So yeah, I got lucky there. I was able to overfarm just a bit. They don't block the Thunder here, so this is looking very nice for us. And we are going to shield the second one. We really need this Castform to be able to do some damage to that Stunfisk, or else this is a GG for us. So we do manage to farm them down, and we have double Weather Ball. So they're going to have to shield one of these. So looking not too bad. Yeah, they do shield the first, and we get to the second one. So things are looking great. And I believe that I'm going to make a switch as fast as I can into the Tropius. Yes, I do, because I am hoping to soak up some energy, but also hoping to get a Leaf Blade off so that the Castform can finish off. And yeah, it does not KO, so I managed to get to the Leaf Blade just barely. Luckily, it's a mud shot, or that would have taken me out. And does this KO? Yeah, it does KO. All right, that's a good game right there. Another very close win, but we got it, guys. Next up is DJ Kinosuke. Okay, let's see what they got. I like their name a lot. So they're gonna go ahead and bring in that Swampert. And of course, they make an immediate switch into a Stunfisk, no less. And we go ahead and lock ourselves in with our Primeape. And as usual, we're not going to shield here because we know that our Castform can finish this Stunfisk if they decide to invest any shields. We do go ahead and farm up a little bit extra to see if we can force some shields, and we do, so that's really good there. And we get to the second Night Slash. So let's see, this should KO them, but if I remember correctly, my opponent will shield this. Yes, so they do shield it, so that's kind of crazy to me that they decided to use 2 shields right off the bat, which makes me think that Tropius is a very big problem for their team. So this is making me feel very confident right now. And I'm going to go ahead and bring in that Tropius back in because it can tank up a Rock Slide, no problem. But I do get to the Leaf Blade anyway, and this should KO that Stunfisk. Boom. So they've used up 2 shields just to get an Earthquake off. Now they bring in a Skarmory, and we go ahead and switch into Castform. They switch into their Swampert, but this is a very good matchup for Castform. So we are pretty happy with this switch here. We do get a Weather Ball off, and now we are trying to get to a second one here. We do have to be careful with an Earthquake, so we decide to shield this here. And in fact, it is a Sludge Wave, which still would have done a lot of damage. And we do farm up a little bit extra, but we didn't want to have to use any more shields. So we went ahead and threw that second Weather Ball. And now it's just versus the Skarmory. We want to get to that Thunder because it would do the most damage. And we are going to shield this because I believe Castform isn't that tanky. It's not super glassy, but it's also not an incredible tank. So we go ahead and get to that Thunder here. And this will do a lot of damage to them. Times 2 damage, right? So yeah, that almost takes them out completely. And then I make a quick little switch into the Tropius just to catch anything. And then I'm just playing it safe basically, guys, you know? In these kind of matchups, you have to play it safe. And that is a good game to my opponent. And alright guys, that was pretty much all the matches for this set. It was a very, very, very fun set. All of them were actually very fun. I even had better teams that I was winning more with. That I stopped playing because this is just too awesome. It's even better than the Talonflame, and Talonflame has been very fun. Don't get me wrong, Talonflame has been excellent, but this team has been extra fun. And thank you so much for watching up to this point. If you are still watching, guys, please go ahead, leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and please join the Musa Squad on Twitter, Twitch for live streams, and Instagram. And I will catch you guys on the next one, okay? Sayonara!